here is the video review for Maketoys MM-02 rear end and Hurricane add-on kit, their version of tailgate with some add-on pieces for Cyclonus. Before we get to that, I want to talk about a matter of national urgency. Onslaught's knees. So, yeah, I totally botched that in my video. They should look kind of like this. Let me see if I can get the light in there. Yeah, so that should come up, back, and up, and then that allows them to lock all the way in place and then bend at the knee without coming loose. And I knew that because I had done it on my hotspot mold. The one sitting in my computer room was properly transformed, and I fell prey to hubris and just said, you know what, I know how to transform this guy, I'm going to do it. It's not actually in the instructions, but I did know about it. Several people pointed it out to me, and I went, oh yeah. And as soon as I did it, I realized, oh, you know what? I've done that on my hotspot. I don't know why I forgot. So I am aware of his knees. They do support him securely when you transform them properly. My apologies. We're all kind of dealing with a low-grade sickness here at the house, and it was a long day, and I shot 6 other video reviews before that one. So my apologies. That was totally my mistake. But yeah, his knees work. So anyway, on to the rest of it. You can stop commenting. Is basically what I'm saying. Anyway, here is rear end, or tailgate as we know him, in his little Cybertronian car form. He's got bomb disposal here on the side of his vehicle mode, which is cute. But yeah, he's a neat little car. And he has a small little car. There he is with his official Hasbro version that came out a couple years ago. And he rolls, and he's generally just a little Cybertronian car. Now to transform him into robot mode, I'm going to come out here, untab his arms from the side of the car, both in the front and the side. Kind of pull those out a little bit. You can see these pieces kind of come out from the side here. Lift this panel up here and untab the back part of the feet. Lift this up. Now under here, this whole assembly right here, you can see there's a strut kind of up in the middle there. This whole assembly comes up on that panel to sit higher on the back. And then this folds down. You can see tab into here. And then fold this up. And these 2 tabs right here tab into the back part here to form his backpack. And you bring his arms out to the side. Flip out his little abdomen piece here. Can be a little tricky. Flip that piece out. Then fold this down over his head. Make sure his head fits through the hole. Snap that into place. Bring his head down. And then the arms, you want to bring, helps you keep these flat. This down, and then fold this panel up, and it tabs in right there on the side of his chest. Slide his forearm panels up and rotate his fists around. Now you want to make sure when going back to car mode that you do rotate his hands so they're facing out like that. Otherwise, the way they're molded, the fingers, you can see when you fold it around, you can see how this is mostly a flat surface here. Whereas if you, once you have them rotated like this, the fingers come down. If you don't rotate those, they will push up against the side of the car and pop off. So, make sure you're doing that when going back to vehicle mode. With his legs, unpeg them from back here. You can see this little hole on this piece goes over these 2 pegs on the top, and then the pegs on the other side of the feet peg in back here when you're transforming him. Bring his legs down. Bring them down here like this. They're on a ball joint down here on a swivel hinge, which is how you rotate them this way and then rotate them up. And when you're going back to car mode again, make sure that this little tabs into the top of the foot. You bring that down, rotate it, and then last but not least, rotate the wheel, just the wheel panel on the outside of his thigh up and around. Sometimes it likes to get stuck on something. Come on, rotate. Oh, bring it forward. There we go. And there is rear end in robot mode. It's just a matter of getting him depending on those hinges can get swapped and can get off to the side a little bit. You want to make sure the hinges are on the same level for him to stand. But there he is. And he's an adorable little tailgate. I love him. He's got the nice little squat proportions. He looks like he stepped right out of the comic, which is really cool. Now here he is in robot mode with his Hasbro version. So you can see he's smaller in height, but he's a little bulkier most of the other dimensions aside from his giant arms on the Hasbro version. But yeah, oh, we just killed Groove. Oh well, anyway. So yeah, here he is. He does have some, let's go over articulation first. He's got a ball joint neck as well as a hinge on the head that's mostly for transformation. It flips up for transformation, but he does have a ball joint neck so he can look around. He's got the shoulders that if you play with some of the Maketoys combiners, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's a ball joint cup on a hinge so he can get a little bit more range of motion that way. The ball joint is a little limited based on it's a flat surface to a flat surface, but he gets a pretty decent range out of his arms. He's got a bicep swivel. He has a single hinge at the elbow, just right here. He does have the wrist swivel, obviously, because of the transformation. He's got a ball joint at the waist, ball joint hips with a thigh swivel just underneath, dual hinge knees, both up here and down here, so you can get you have to practically fold his legs all the way back around for transformation, so you can get some decent poses out of that. He's got the ankle tilt, both if you use the joint, the swivel joint up here, or the ball joint. The ball joint gives him a decent range of motion in his foot. Not as much front to back, just because of the way he's built, but at least in robot mode. But you can move that around, and it gives you a decent enough range of articulation for pretty much anything you'd want to do with him. Come on, stand. Now he also comes with the add-on parts for Cyclonus, and those are just over here. I've already got them on Cyclonus. Cyclonus comes with a new head, new fists, a little clip to hold the sword, and a new little waist plate to give him these side panels here. Now, the sword that this is the sword he comes with. It's kind of a matte silver sword. The one he's got on his back is one of the chrome silver swords I got from one of the Battle Tanker kits, I think. One of the earlier Maketoys sets came with this sword, so you can see the difference. Either one works. I just like the shinier sword. So yeah, and to swap all this stuff out, it really doesn't take a whole lot of stuff. For the arms, you just unscrew these two pieces, pop them apart, pull the existing fist out, put the new one in. The head, you unscrew on the robot head. You unscrew the robot head from the toy. This just plugs into the weapon port up here. And then on this head, you actually, this little piece is kind of a softer plastic. So you pull that off, get to the two screws here to loosen this head up, and then just replace the old head with it. It looks kind of silly with a very skinny head without this. And then once that's screwed back on, you just clip this around the head again. And then the waist piece here, you take the existing screw back here out. You take the screw that's in this spot on the original Cyclonus toy out, but you don't actually remove any pieces. You just take that. There's a new screw included with this one that's longer, and you just screw this right on top of the back of his waist. You don't actually remove any pieces. This just screw replaces the screw that's there and holds this piece on in place. And it just flips up like that. There's the little armatures right here. You can flip that around to give him his skirt plates. So yeah, so that makes him look a little bit more comic accurate too. I would have liked it if he had two horns, because Tailgate did fix his broken horn, but this is, I mean, it's still cool. And like I said, the sword holster can go on his back. And you can have it, you can rotate it a little bit if you want to have it at an angle, although that does tend to get in the way of the fins, as well as the fact that, like, I was looking at the comic just the other day, and he does in fact store his sword straight up and down on his back like that. So there's the two of them together. In transforming him, it really doesn't make, aside from the fact, like, when you flip the fists in, they've actually got, like, painted thrusters instead of it all being that dull, all single dull gray color like on the Hasbro, which is cool. And basically these panels just kind of come up and cover the thrusters. They're on ball joints here. I pulled that one too far. And there are pictures of that online. Like, I'm not going to fully transform Cyclonus here just for the sake of showing that he's got slightly bigger panels on the back of his jet mode, because everything else fits in the established. Come on. Everything else transforms exactly the same. His horn fits within the nose cone just fine. It actually matches the curve like exactly. It's a really nice fit. There we go. And then tailgate also has some individual parts you can swap out. He comes with his damaged legs from when they first found him, and his little distressed head with the tears. And again, those just pop right on. You just pop his old head off, shoot it at Cyclonus's face, and then just pop the new one back on. And now, oh no, something bad is happening. And for the legs, you just pop them off here at the hip ball joint, just like that, and then pop. Not entirely sure which leg is which. But then you pop the new leg on. You can give him damaged legs. Come on, you. There we go. So you can have him. Oh no, my legs, my legs. Lieutenant Dan. Anyway. That's that. So yeah, an excellent set. Like I said, it's nice to have, like, the add-on kits for Cyclonus were a bonus. This tailgate is absolutely amazing. I'm really, really happy with this one. It's going to go up on the shelf with my other Lost Light crew member cast. And just real quick, oh yeah, here he is with Swerve from the previous Manga Mechs release. I have gears too, but I didn't want to dig gears out. From the back of the shelf where he's at, he kind of got pushed back behind a couple figures. But yeah, there he is with Swerve from the previous Manga Mech release. And of course, here he is with the render form hoverboard that you remember I reviewed. I picked it up at TFCon Charlotte, mostly because I knew I was getting this guy. And there he is on that. So yeah, it's the MM-02 Maketoys rear end and Hurricane add-on kit set. Definitely worth picking up if you're into the comics. And honestly, I think Tailgate's worth picking up regardless. He's a really awesome little dude.